Heat Lakers game 4 tonight. This is going to be one of the closest games they've ever played. I'm looking for this game really to be in the early 100s, maybe 101 to 97, be like 95 to 92. It's going to be a really close game because, as I said before, once you start hitting to games 4 and 5, there are only so many adjustments you could do. You already know all your personnel. Teams have really exposed the full nature of what they're going to do. Here's the Miami Heat. Here's one thing that is going to be a key for them for game 4. They're going to continue to shrink the floor. They realize that the Lakers are not a great three-point shooting team. You have to understand, since game 1, they had a really good shooting game, but since then, games 2 and 3, the Lakers have been averaging like 30 to 34% from 3, and they've been taking a whole lot of threes. Game 3, they took more threes than they took twos, which is not like them at all. So that being said, what the Miami Heat are going to continue to do is shrink the floor and make the Lakers shoot from the outside. Jimmy Butler is going to have to be aggressive. That is something that he has to wholeheartedly do and be cognizant of. When Jimmy Butler is aggressive, it opens up the floor for the Kelly Olynyk's. It opens up the floor for the Duncan Robinsons, Tyler Hero. Even though some of those guys didn't have great games, you're looking at like a Kelly Olynyk who outplayed Anthony Davis. He had 17 points. And all that because Jimmy Butler was attacking the basket, getting to the line. People were overreacting to his drives because he was hitting shots in the lane. And now that opens up a dish here, a dish there. Jimmy Butler had 13 assists. That goes to the point of him being aggressive. Being aggressive early opened up the floor and got the Lakers in foul trouble. Small ball works for the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat see that, hey, look, small ball is working. We're playing to the best of our abilities when we're small. It seems like when we kind of play big, it doesn't necessarily work out. And of course, you only had a small sample of Bam Adebayo, but when Bam Adebayo was playing, they were down 30. Now you notice every single game, even when they get down 17, 14, they kind of whittle it down to 8, 9. Game 2, it was always 8 to 10, 8 to 10, 7 to 10. They got it down to 4, but then they kind of lost the game there. Game 3, playing small and spacing the floor, basically like a 5-out set, Kelly Olynyk screen and roll and stuff like that. That really worked for them. So they're going to continue to play small and force the Lakers to downsize. And that's where the Lakers lose their advantage in terms of offensive rebounds. These are some keys for the Lakers that you're really going to have to pay attention to and really focus on. The Lakers defensively have to guard without fouling. That means that they have to move their feet and stop missing assignments. One of the culprits is Anthony Davis. He's always guarding Crowder, and he's always leaving Crowder open for like that corner 3, that wide open 3. He overreacts to the pump fakes, and guys either drive by him and it forces the Lakers to collapse, and they're missing rotations. So they're going to have to guard without fouling. That includes Danny Green, Caldwell Pope. Make Jimmy Butler make a tough layup over you. Don't allow these guys to get to the line and, get to the cup and you foul them because you're swiping down. Instead, let them finish over the top. Finishing over the top is extremely difficult. And people will never understand this until you play basketball. If you're playing somebody that's making you finish over the top of them every single time, it's more difficult than when you're swiping down and, potentially a three-point play. So Lakers have to play defense without fouling and move their feet. Also run the Heat off the three-point line and funnel them into the bigs. Even if they don't have a big lineup, for example, if you funnel them in and LeBron James is your rim protector, that's better than just letting him drive by you, getting straight to the lane or get an open 3. Kelly Olynyk, he's like notorious for pulling up early, getting guys out of position. So they're going to have to really key in on that and run guys off the three-point line and make them finish over the top. Duncan Robinson's not a good finisher over the top. Tyler Hero is not a good finisher over the top. And you saw that in games 1 and 2. But when you're like leaving them open for the wide open 3, or you're letting them drive and there's no help, and you're fouling, you're not letting them finish over the top, you're putting them on the line and you give them extra points, and you're slowing the game down and allowing the Heat to set their defense. Lakers have to play big and have to dominate. Their bigs have to dominate. That means Dwight Howard has to have 10+ boards. Anthony Davis, 10+ boards. Their bigs have to play big, and they have to play big and dominate. They have to post up. The Lakers barely posted up, especially for Anthony Davis. He had like one post up in the fourth quarter. They have to consistently post up and allow the Heat to collapse. The Heat will collapse early and often. I think that kind of plays into the psyche of like an Anthony Davis, because you got to figure this. Anthony Davis had 5 of those turnovers game 3 of those 20 turnovers. So he's not really a great decision maker. LeBron, you know, he had 8 turnovers. He has games like that in the finals. He's done that before. He almost had a quadruple double in the finals with turnovers. Lakers are going to have to really consider a lineup change. Danny Green in the last 2 games, games 2 and 3, and people might say this is overreacting, but look, for the last 2 games, he's 1 for 14 from 3. They're going to have to consider taking him out the starting lineup and playing him limited minutes and let Kuzma play some more, or they're going to probably have to allow Marcus Morris to play some more. You might see that, but to me, they shouldn't go away from their bigs. If they go away from their bigs, it's trouble, because Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis, they're really not accustomed to closing out. Yes, that's true, but then you lose your rebounding edge, your alley-oop edge, and making guys like Jimmy Butler finish over the top. Like, if they see Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis in the paint, they're going to think twice about going for them layups. And LeBron has to definitely hit a home run. He has to come out aggressively. He has to have one of them triple-double games, or one of those 30 and 15 assists, 17 assist games. He has to come out super aggressive. And that's one thing that kind of pissed me off about LeBron James in his NBA Finals. Who's guarding him? Jimmy Butler. Really, in all reality, can't guard him. Who's guarding him? Older Andre Iguodala. In all reality, can't really guard LeBron James. Like, nobody on that team can really guard LeBron James. And if he wants to, he could call for a pick, do some dances on Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero. Like, he just needs to be aggressive from the early onset. I don't understand why he's like trying to let the game come to him in this regard, because they don't have anybody that can really guard him. So if he just is earlier on aggressive, that forces the Heat to overreact, and then that opens up the floor for everybody else, from Anthony Davis to Dwight Howard to Rajon Rondo to Danny Green to get more wide open shots, because now they're like, okay, LeBron is driving, and then when LeBron sees that they're overplaying him, now it opens up, hey, now I'm getting doubled, okay, now it's the open 3, now it's the cutter, now I can throw the lob. LeBron has to put in his head, I gotta be aggressive. Not aggressively in terms of trying to like do everything one-on-one by himself, but be more aggressive, more impactful with the things that he does. Move north and south instead of east and west, for sure. Stop taking so many threes. Pull-up threes, pull-up jumpers are not LeBron's game, unless he's got, like, you know, layups going, he's getting you guys in foul trouble, he's getting to the line, then that stuff opens up. But he needs to be aggressive, stick to his core game. Overall, the way I look at this game, this is a must-win for the Lakers, because it's all about confidence. I think in this series, LeBron is losing confidence in the fact that the referees are not giving him the respect that he's garnered in the past. You know, he's not shooting that many free throws. Also, Jimmy Butler scored 40. Some of that 40 was on LeBron James. So his defense got exposed thoroughly. Even his weak side defense got exposed. He takes plays off defensively, and the Heat are exposing him for that. So I think that they have to make this a quick series. It's a must-win for them. Confidence-wise as well, you're looking at Anthony Davis. He had a huge, like, letdown. Like, and you know what? One thing that kind of like kills me, because you got to think this has happened to a lot of other players. This has happened to Steph Curry, where he's had like a 17-point game in the finals or 11-point game in the finals. But the difference between Steph Curry and Anthony Davis is Steph Curry kept shooting. He kept attacking. Things just wouldn't fall at times. But he never stopped attacking. He never stopped moving. He never stopped doing the things that got him there. It just wasn't his night. Anthony Davis, he got in foul trouble, and it played in his head, played in his psyche. So this is a must-win for the Lakers. Because if the Heat tie the series 2-2, now you're looking at a 7-game series. That means the Heat figured you out so much to the point where they're in your head. LeBron's not getting to the line. The three-point shot is not falling. And Frank Vogel's not making the right adjustments. And at this point, I already told you, there's not that many more adjustments that they can do. The Heat have gone small. It worked out for them because they got the Lakers in foul trouble. If they don't get the Lakers in foul trouble and they go small, it's not going to work. So that's something that the Lakers have to keep in their mind. Play defense without fouling, but also the Heat have to keep in mind, be aggressive. Now all the pressure falls back on the Lakers. All this pressure, it really goes to the Lakers, especially Anthony Davis, because he played so poorly in Game 3. Hoops Junction, where Hoops meets Hoopla. Like, comment, subscribe.